Guys, that's our picks for that. But we got one more game to cover that I think is particularly interesting for a couple of different reasons. The Detroit Lions taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys, let's look, last week they got away with one, right? They won on that last gasp, fourth and goal, where the guy was over the line by 2 inches. All right. So, well done. But I think this team is a mess. They obviously got their asses handed to them by the New Orleans Saints, who turns out aren't that good of a team. Then they got beat by Baltimore. No shame in that. Then they beat the New York Giants. Who cares? They beat the Cleveland Browns in week 1. Who cares? And then they got they got a good win against Pittsburgh. But again, a game they could have easily lost. Yep. And another game that they didn't look that good.
No.
Like, neither of them look that good. So right now, the Dallas Cowboys, who again, it seems like every year the Dallas Cowboys come into the year with high expectations. Okay?
Well, they should. They have the highest paid quarterback of all time. So.
Okay, can I just say this? Look, I like Dak Prescott. I do. He's got a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, like 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It just always feels like he throws a pick at the worst possible time. And then sometimes he'll do that and the team will bail him out. That's fine. But listen, he's thrown for over 1,400 yards this season. He's looking solid. I think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. I don't know what's his name, owner in Dallas again. Why am I freezing?
Jerry Jones.
I don't know what Jerry Jones was thinking, making Dak Prescott the highest played player in NFL history. That I don't get. I mean, I would take Dak Prescott on my team any day. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't think he's a top 3 quarterback. And he's certainly not the highest paid player in the NFL kind of quarterback. But hey, whatever. You pay who you got to pay. You pay what you got to pay. But they're coming in here. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys right now need a statement win. Again, a win against the Cleveland Browns does not tell us anything about your team. A win against the New York Giants does not tell us anything about your team. You squeaked one out against Pittsburgh, but right now it's still kind of up in the air as to what Pittsburgh is. I think they absolutely need to get a statement win, and they're playing a team that would absolutely be a statement win. Playing the Detroit Lions, whose only loss was against a very good Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. That's it. They got wins over Pittsburgh. They beat the Rams. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Seahawks. Like, a win over Detroit. And they're playing in Dallas. That could be a good key win. So I think they need this badly. But even at 3-1, I think this is a very important win needed for Detroit. Was last year a fluke? It's still a little bit up in the air. I mean, again, they've looked very good this year. Jeff Goff has looked good this year.
Jared Goff,
sorry, has looked very good this year. But if you go into Dallas against a Dallas team that does not look like it's clicking on all cylinders and lose, I think that changes the perceptions of the Detroit Lions a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. If they have a game like Cincinnati and the Ravens and it's a shootout, goes down to the wire and they lose, I don't think they should hang their heads. That's fine. But if they go in there and lose by 10, 14 or something like that, I think this is going to take a lot of winning out of the sails. So if we're going to ask ourselves the question, which one of these two teams needs this win the most? I think they both badly need this win. It's not that their seasons are in danger if they don't, but I can say the Dallas Cowboys need this win a little bit more, because if they lose, like if Detroit loses, they're 3-2. That was on the road.
Yeah.
Fine. If Dallas, who is 0-2 at home, when for the past 24 months, it looks like they couldn't possibly ever lose at home.
Yep.
They're 0-2 at home. If they go 0-3 and they drop down to 3-3, I think there are going to be a lot of questions being asked. So first of all, I think Detroit will win this game, but I think, and the question, who needs to win the most? I think Dallas needs this win the most. How do you see it?
So overall, I kind of been in agreement with you. They both need the win. They're both second in their division, so they're trailing another team. Obviously, the Lions are behind the Vikings, who are undefeated, and Dallas is behind the Commanders. The Lions have lost the last 6 times they've played the Cowboys.
I didn't know that.
So they're 0-6.
I know they lost their last couple. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know they were
they haven't
0-6.
won in a long time. Their Lions are coming off a bye week, so they've had time to prepare. Cowboys D's banged up. They don't really have a secondary or anything. And then Dallas goes into a bye week after this. To me, I think the Lions need it more. I think they need to prove a point that they can beat this team, and they have to keep pace with the Vikings. They haven't lost.
Yeah,
so
because the Vikings are going to
hunt.
are in the position to run away with it if they don't keep up.
The Cowboys need it also. They need to keep pace with the Commanders. They need to show that they can win some of these games against better teams.
Who would have thought before the season start that we'd ever say the words, you need to keep up with the Commanders?
Yeah.
Who thought that?
Yeah. They both need it, but I would think the Lions need it more to say they can beat the Cowboys, because they're probably going to play them in the playoffs. They did last year again, or they could. And then just like games coming up, Dallas has Niners, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, and Lions have Vikings, Titans, Packers, Texans, Jaguars. So both of the teams play more division rivals. So they need to get these wins to make sure they can stay in the hunt in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions.
All right, guys. Now, of course, there is one other Week 6 game, and that's the Monday night game between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. But we're going to save that and talk about that game on Monday. So, guys, those are our picks. That's our little preview and our picks of this weekend's games. How do you see them? Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.